First and foremost, just a huge thank you to Cajun Nation and all the support that we get. What'd you say, 125,000 in attendance? Unbelievable. We had a lot of home games this year, 33 of them, and our crowd was a major advantage. They were our 10th man all year, and I'd love to get to play here again, and it's not out of the realm of possibility, but our guys were really learning how to capture the crowd, and we were able to do that again this weekend. But those guys are amazing, the cooking club, everybody at tailgates, the fan, everybody. It's a unique experience that is only known to this place, and I've been to a lot of them, and I don't think anybody can touch us or the experience or the fan base, and I think a lot of the opposing teams would say the same thing. So I think we're very, very blessed and fortunate to have the best fans in the country. And alongside of that, I thought Coach Babb did an incredible job. He was in a different role, along with Faith and Sam and Savannah and Coach Doe, and just everybody that was a part of game day operations. It was a first-class operation all year. Obviously, there's still some things you can tweak. Trey had a huge hand in that. Evan. I was very, very impressed with the way that our operations people worked and the job that they did. And testament to that was this weekend. I thought the events that we put on and hosted, headed by those guys this weekend, was amazing. From graduation to senior day, with a little bit of adversity with lightning and rain, to Mother's Day yesterday. That takes a lot of people, and there's a lot of people involved. And the whole athletics department, I can't speak highly enough for just the way that they handled this year, and the way that they took care of business every single home game was the best that I've seen, obviously, since I've been back here, and wanted to say thank you to those guys. Baseball, just on the week, Tuesday was forgettable. Coming off a great weekend at ULM, we were still very offensive on Tuesday at Tech, and same song, second verse, take a lead, spit it up, have to come back down. We were down 6-2, got to come all the way back. Now we're up 8-6, spit it up again, and really wasn't happy after that game. I really feel like with some health and a shored up bullpen, we're at 40 wins already, and that kind of magnified all of that. We had a tough talk after that game, and the guys responded this past weekend with what I understand is the first time we swept Texas State, is what I was told yesterday. And that's a good ball club, but I thought we got a great pitching performance from Nezu, and then again from Fluno, and then from most of the entire bullpen yesterday. The job that David Christie and Rawls did out the bullpen was phenomenal. The biggest key to our sweep this weekend was they never got a big hit. I can't name a huge two-out knock or a runner at third, less than two, a big spot of them driving in a run. We were able to strand their runners all weekend, and then we scored a lot of runs with two outs on the weekend. The hitters they're getting after it right now, and we were able to break the stolen base record on Tuesday night, which is something that's special to me. We were able to do that at Texas A&M. We stole 150 in 07. Or when I first got here in 2012, that was the first thing I did that week, was find out what the stolen base record was. And it's taken like 31 years for a team to get to it. I know they tied it in 02. But to have the personnel grouping together to break that record kind of speaks to the pack and the way that we play, just fast, hard, and loose. And this team has totally embraced that, and they have mastered this offense, and you saw a lot of that this weekend.
So before we get to the weekend, we were just going over all the scenarios. Like, I'm sure you're going to try to keep it as simple as you can with your team. Go win, or how are you going to handle it?
Well, Just really and truly, it's the same thing that we've been doing, Kev. You know, you mentioned it this morning. We dug ourselves a hole, right? And we could debate the reasons, all right? But dug ourselves a hole. When that happens, you just put your head down and go to work, and you don't look at anything. Just don't do it. It's kind of like when you're hitting 200. Don't go check a stat sheet. Just work to be a 300 hitter today, okay? And that's all we've done is just work to be a great team today. And the formula is do whatever it takes. I'll pitch everybody on a team to win one game. I will. And that's the formula is I've been for the last 2 weeks in tournament or regional mode where the most important game of the year is today. And that's the way that we approach it. And you're right, it's a jumbled mess, but that speaks to the how good this league is this year. It's number 5. I mean, okay, you think 5th, right? That's not even a bronze medal. But when you go SEC, ACC, Big 12, PAC, and then you go, oh, Sunbelt? Yeah, there's a lot of teams that are going to get in a regional from this league this year.
How important was it to get the sweep after that loss on Tuesday, just to bounce back from that?
It's a great question, Jamarcus, because I thought yesterday was the absolute key to everything for the entire year. And to be honest with you, our play initially, and we had to meet up in the 4th or 5th, whenever we scored 6 runs, we had met up that inning. And I told them, you know, do you want me to be honest with you? And obviously they said yes. And I said, well, most of the time I am, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this. We look like a team that's satisfied right now with 2 out of 3. And that's not what this program stands for. That's not what the people that built this thing and played before us stand for. And we need to get it going right now. And because the importance of that game is 17 wins, to your point, I believe is a big number. Based on the matchups that are going to go down this weekend. I may be wrong, but I believe that's a big number. And like I said, we need to work to win the game that we're in. Obviously, Southern Miss is a very, very good team, a great coach team, and they've got a lot of older players on that team that know how to play and know how to win. It'll be a tough environment, but we've done well on the road. We're used to playing, we won at LSU. This team's not going to get awed by anything. We've just got to stick to what works, and that's good starting pitching, okay? Continue to play great defense. We lead the league in defense, and play our game offensively. Fast, hard, and loose, and see what happens. But yesterday's sweep was key, in my opinion, because it was like winning a game next week. Does that make sense?
You mentioned your hitting really coming around, but you also just mentioned your team leading the league in defense. Texas State came in 13th out of 14 teams, and that kind of showed a couple of times. How, does that sort of get overlooked?
It gets overlooked a lot, right? Because our error count literally, and don't quote me on this, but I'm going to be pretty accurate. We've made half the errors our opponent has. We're at like 35 to 70 something. Why do you think that is? Well, we've sacrificed some outs, right? So got caught stealing 50 times. Well, we've stole 150 some odd bases in that. But now, and this is a teach for me, and it takes a year to 2 years to come to fruition, like you saw in 13 and 14, is our reputation precedes us. It's a week ahead of us always. And it speeds teams up. If you think about it, how many bags we steal this weekend? 5? Not much. But it's the reputation of that where you see the unforced errors, if you will. And that's part of our game.
Coach, you guys are the defending league champions, but the Cajuns are coming off the basketball Sun Belt Championship, the golf team's playing in the NCAAs, and softball just won a championship. Any pressure to match?
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. You want to pull your weight and then some. And but those are good things. Everybody wants to be a part of a winner, and we got a big time winner going on right here, right now.
How important in the whole feature of the whole dynamic of trying to figure out the pitching staff like you've been doing is Carson Funo just giving you 5 quality innings like he's done the last? I mean, it seems like that.
You're correct. That's the key. And even if you stumble into it or you got to get there by necessity, we got there. And, that's two pretty good starts, and I think he's only going to get better and get more confident and more confident. And I think it'll spill over into next season as well. No doubt about it. But I still think he has his best game or two or three left to pitch this season.
Has he done well to help him do that?
He came in. He didn't have a lot of mileage on him when he came in. I mean, he was pretty raw, and but he's got something that it's just hard to teach. A, he throws 90 plus miles an hour, and B, he's got a wipeout breaking ball, and those aren't just falling off trees. And he's learned how to land that breaking ball and then how to finish with that breaking ball. Yet still throwing strikes with the fastball in this area, and that's made him tough to hit. Look, they helped him some too. There was a lot of wild swings and early outs that I guarantee you they wish they had back. But part of that too was a product of how good his breaking ball is. He is the key to that, though.
I wasn't listening when everybody was holding around with the scenarios and everything. So if you could just, obviously you want to win just one game at a time, but what is the scenario of, tying for second, three being a three-way tie for first, all those things? How does that work?
Well, obviously it's in our own hands first and foremost, right? But if it wasn't in our hands, you have a couple of different teams that are behind us playing each other. So that sets up scenarios where teams start to cancel each other out. And, I'm not going to go into the teams or who's playing, but it's just that scenario where teams that are trying to catch you, and it's not just us, we're in third. So that means three others behind us fighting for six, and then some more behind that. All I can speak to is us. We control our own destiny. But the way my mind works is I'm not thinking about I am, but I'm not. I'm still looking at it this way. We go have a successful weekend this weekend on the road at a team that's got a 28 RPI, and it's probably going to get better. We have a successful weekend, have a successful run in a tournament. I think it's a moot point. I think we're going to get in at large. We're a regional team, no doubt about it. Yeah, we put ourselves behind the eight ball. It happens. There's a lot of different ways to get there. I told y'all before that 17 team I had that won a regional at Sam Houston, first team ever in the league. To do that, we lost like 5 conference series down the stretch. Get hot, win a tournament, win a regional. That's this type team. We've got that type team. I may have to match up. I had to match up with that team. We matched up yesterday. If I got to make decisive moves just in matchups that don't make sense to everybody else, so be it. That may be what works for us once you get past Nezu and Fluno. But I know that's not a great answer to your question. My answer would be there's just teams that are behind us that are playing each other. And when that happens, you're going to get some cancellation there. Not that they won't be in the tournament, but it is important not to have to play a play-in game, especially in our situation. Maybe it'll rain and everybody votes to play a single elimination tournament again. I was the only one that voted against that last year, and it worked out okay. So I love them now.
Southern Miss, obviously, it's no surprise they're good. We knew they were good coming in, but they're playing at a different level than they were 6 or 8 weeks ago.
Sure, and you would expect that out of a well-coached team and a team that has talent. They've got good pitching and they've got some good older hitters. And this time of year, they come out to play, man. And that's what our team has done as well. So this should be 3 great ball games. The last 6 times we've played them, it's been a great ball game.
Do they have the deepest pitching? Is that what they have, or what is it?
I don't know. I like Texas State's pitching. I like Coastal's got big arms. Of course, I haven't seen everybody in the league. What's crazy is, and you and I were talking about it, is the numbers for everybody are just okay, right? But then you get in the box and it's like, yeah, these guys got good stuff. And so it's kind of a head scratcher. But they're a complete ball club that knows how to win. And that's very, very important.
Do you have a shot at getting any of those guys back that haven't been available the last few weeks?
No. we are what we are for the remainder of the season, and we'll go play as hard as we can and have faith and take action and expecting great things.